who wants to drop 5 strokes off their score? Another question. How many hours does each person spend on the putting green? 0. Okay. There's your problem. So we want to kind of get more putting involved in your practice and everything. Just because this putt right here, you miss that, it's no different than hitting a 300-yard drive. All right. Seems kind of not as much fun. Nobody likes to be on a putting green for a long time. But once you start getting better putts and better scores from your putting, you have an idea of why everybody plays the way they do. Because everybody knows how hard it is to get putts in the hole, and then when you watch guys on TV, how easy it is. All right, that's why there was guys that shoot 70 all the time. That's why people like Tiger's able to turn a 73 into like a 69 because he's making lots of putts. Okay, putting is a very individual thing. As you can see, everybody's got a different style of putter, except for those 2 blades right there. That one and the 2 lefties. All right. I have a mallet putter just because based on different types of strokes. All right, there's 2 types of strokes basically with your putting. There's a pendulum stroke, which is what I do, which is straight back and straight through, which is why I use this putter. All right, you should probably be doing the same one with that center shafted putter. We'll have to see what you do, and we'll get an idea of what you should be using. All right, your other stroke is going to be inside and down the line, where you actually release the putter head coming into impact, and that's where the blades come into effect. All right, I think we talked about that before with the putters. You know, that as we get started here, what we're going to work on is the chipping stroke over here today. And what I want to do is kind of go over the setup, what clubs you guys are using, how you do your chips, and what your ultimate goal is for it. First thing I wanted to ask, what clubs is everybody using right now? Sandwich? 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 All right. Is that the one you guys always use? Okay. So if you use the front one, you're hitting the sandwich, hitting the back one, you're hitting the sandwich. For the most part, Zach, that's true for you. I know it's not for you. You? No? What do you do?
I
Switch it up? What else do you use?
Either 60. I like it.
Gap wedge? Okay. Good. Well, what I kind of want to do with you guys is if you use lower loft clubs, you chip. One, it's easier. And 2, it's going to get you closer to the hole. Depending on what courses a lot of you guys play, a lot of the public courses, you want to carry the ball a little further because they're rougher, but when you get to the nice ones, you want to kind of zero in and get the ball down on the ground as quickly as you can. So what normally happens with your clubs, I personally like using a 7-iron a lot when I'm like close to the fringe right here, and anything close to short, or I'll use a sandwich. When you use a lob wedge, you have a lot of chances of sculling it, hitting it thin, having a lot of troubles with it and everything. But if you're able to use something a little more bounce on it, you're not going to have as much trouble getting the ball close to the hole. And that's basically what you want to do. What I'm going to go over here real quick is just, we'll start off with the sand wedge, and we'll start moving down. I like to use, you know, like I said, a sand wedge, a 7-iron, and a pitching wedge. It's up to you guys to find what you like. All right, guys, everything's looking pretty good. I'm going to go over what I recommend for some fundamentals and everything, then we can kind of go from there. I don't want to get anybody too off track with what they do because everybody plays a little bit. They have an idea. Some people need a little more help than others, and we'll work on that. Got a few things we'll go over today. One thing I really want to work on besides fundamentals is angle of attack. Some people have really shallow, some people have really deep. All right, I got some live boards we'll hit off of or hit with the behind the ball to kind of go with what we want to do. Yours is a little thin, so yours is going to be behind it. So we're going to have you swing where you don't hit the live board. So you're only going to have a little bit of room, so you have to come down to the steeper angle, and vice versa for the guys who are going to be hitting off of the board. So you'll go a little too deep. You guys down there. But we'll kind of go over some club face positioning, your divots. Like those divots look great. That's what we want is like nice straight divot because your club path is going in the right direction. Anything that happens with your shot is going to be basically dictated by the club face. All right, so that's what we're going to kind of learn. If you get your setup correct, and you come in and you know you're parallel to the line, your hips are parallel, your shoulders are parallel, and you have feel a good swing, and you have that underneath you, you know your club face turned over or stayed open through the impact, okay? So it's going to be really easy for you to figure out what's wrong with your swing. And that's why you want to do fundamentals and know what you're doing because it's easier for you guys to be able to know what's going wrong in your swing, okay?